Well, a hard-fought win tonight. This team beat Mercer last Friday night, so those two pitchers that we faced, carved up Mercer, and they were tough on us tonight too. There were a couple of keys to the game. Obviously, Dylan wasn't himself tonight. He had command issues, and then he had a little strain in his back that I think was affecting his delivery. So we got him out of there to make sure that it didn't get any worse. And Tyler Pitzer came into a really tough situation, and he walked that first guy, but then pitched us out of that jam and pitched out of a later jam, and just made some big pitches for us and gave us a chance. And had he not done what he stepped up and did for us, we might be talking about a tough loss tonight. But he gave us a chance to win, and then, of course, we had a great inning there, and one swing of the bat was the difference in the game. And it was a very evenly played game, but Jase stepped up. I didn't think there was anything getting out of here tonight in that cold air. We crushed some balls to center field, and they just died out there like they did the other day. I'm looking forward to some warm weather for our hitters, that's for sure, where the ball will carry. But, Jase proved me wrong. He hit that one out. He crushed it. Obviously, 4 runs on one swing were the difference in the game.
Questions for the players? Dave, we'll start with you.
Pitt's obviously not a great situation to come into, short warm-up and bases are loaded. Just what's your mentality there? Is it any different from if you were coming in and say bases clear?
No, nothing really different in my mentality when it comes to that. Obviously, it didn't start the way I wanted it to. Mentality was kind of just like fill up the zone, just don't let any of those runs score. But pretty much in the end, it's just fill up the zone, throw strikes, and in the end, it worked.
Jase, can you take us through the grand slam swing? Were you sitting on a pitch or anything, and what does that feel like when after hitting your first home run as a Gamecock?
Yeah, the at bat before he kind of got me on a cutter. He got inside on my hands a little bit, and I knew that I was going to get another one at some point. So I was looking for that pitch, and he was tough. He did very well, and I got a mistake and was able to put a good swing on it. So yeah, kind of blacked out a little bit, but it was a cutter, up and away.
Tyler, what is the process of getting coming to that situation? Because you're warming up at first, and then Dylan's pitching, and then Dylan gets hurt, and then you're coming in and you're having to really ramp up in the cold and all that. How tough is that, honestly, as a pitcher?
It's tougher than obviously getting warmed up like usually, but if you go in there with the mentality of just filling the strike zone, doing the best of your capabilities, and knowing that your defense is behind you, in the end, it works out.
Jase, not just for you, but for all the hitters, when you got a pitcher out there, I think the guy had a 4-pitch inning the night before. Is it easy to go up there and say, like, man, we might need to make this guy work, but then that first pitch looks really desirable and it's tough to lay off?
We're just looking to stay with our approach. So, looking to hit balls hard, and we did a great job of that tonight. So, obviously he had a quick inning, but it's not like we weren't, squaring balls up off of him. So, just sometimes it's how the cookie crumbles, and took good swings.
Back, John.
Jase, how you probably didn't have the preseason you wanted coming into this. How have you kind of refocused once the season has gotten here, and did you make any adjustments that have helped you?
Oh, I just, it definitely wasn't the preseason I wanted, but I know that it's his plan, not mine, and I knew that I was going to get a chance at some point, so I could either kind of pity myself or keep working and, busting my butt every day, and that's the route that I've always chose. It's the reason that I'm here, and stuck with that, and it's doing fairly well for me right now.
Any other questions for you guys? All right, we'll let them go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wasn't that a great answer? What an attitude. And for the record, he had a great fall. Hit a couple home runs in the fall, at least 2.
Yeah.
Hit one against Air Force, and didn't he hit one against Charleston too? I know he had at least 2 or 3 in the inter-squad scrimmages, so we knew he could hit, and we gave him a chance earlier this week over at Winthrop, and I thought he sparked our team that night, and obviously tonight, it was unbelievable. That was awesome. We needed it too. So you were second guessing me letting those guys hit away, huh? Hey, you got to take the good with the bad sometimes, you know.
Paul, just to be, do you know if SQ is that anything to keep an eye on with his back? Or?
The preliminary thing for me was a strain by his scapula, so hopefully that's all it is, and hopefully it's a short-term thing. But I wasn't going to risk it. You know, he was struggling with his command anyway. But you know, once he mentioned that to me on the mound, I could just kind of tell he wasn't himself out there. You know, even Terry was saying that when he was warming up for the game, he didn't seem himself. So we'll get more of a diagnosis on him, I'm sure, tomorrow and see what the deal is.
And then with Pitts obviously coming in a bad situation and getting out of it, it seemed like he actually pitched better the worse the situation was. I mean, is that a good thing to see, you know, with a guy that just hadn't had many innings yet?
Let's go back and remember the first outing. You know, he came in and walked 3 batters the first inning that he pitched, and we had to take him out that last weekend. And then we got him into the game on Sunday just to kind of get him back on the horse and try to, you know, flush the negative out of his mind, and he pitched really well that last inning. So, listen, Pitzer's a guy that we're going to need and count on, and you know he's got some of the best stuff on our staff. And when he gets into a groove, you know he's pretty tough. Terry has always talked him up to me. You know we didn't have much of the fall, if at all. I don't even remember him pitching at all in the fall. It was early in the fall when he, you know, we had to kind of shut him down. I think it was even before fall practice started, maybe after one bullpen or something. But so I hadn't really seen him pitch that much. But Terry's been working with him and keeps singing his praises, and I believe him. And you can know he's a great competitor, and he's going to be a very vital guy for us as we continue through the season. But how about the job that Zach Russell did as well? You know, young kid late in the game there, pounding the zone. We had a big double play that we turned there that was huge. But I was real proud of Zach Russell as well.
The play Ethan made in the 6th inning there to cut down that run at home, what'd you see there, and how big of a turning point was that to keep the deficit at 2-1 there after the leadoff double?
Well, you could see that their runner was initially going on contact, and then he stopped because he knew he was going to be dead out. So for a guy that hasn't played an awful lot of first base, I thought that Ethan showed a lot of poise there. The guy stopped. He had 2 choices. He could have run at him and got him in a rundown maybe, or he was going to go step on first and then deal with him. But as he moved towards first, the kid broke for the plate, and Ethan made a great throw, and Talmadge made a great tag. So that was a very pivotal time in the game, obviously. And you know, Ethan had a couple of misplays the other Wednesday night, and I know he holds himself to a very high standard. He took a lot of extra defensive work today in pregame, and not only that play at home, but I don't know if you all could tell in the press box, but he made a couple of picks on throws in the dirt that were very critical in this game as well. So you can see that he's a great athlete, and he works at the game, takes a lot of pride in every facet of the game, and his glove was as important as anything tonight.
I know Dave talked about the approach at the plate, but it seemed like they were really aggressive tonight, and that's what you want them to be. Have you seen the progression you wanted to over these first week and a half of the season to where they are getting better, being aggressive?
With several guys I have. I mean, there's still a few guys that just haven't, you know, swung the bat like they showed during the fall. And, you know, we got to get some of those guys going. And, you know, because you can't just depend on Superman Nate Hall every game and you know, other Superman, Captain America, you know, Ethan Petrie. You know, Kennedy has been contributing a lot. But it was nice to see somebody else tonight. You know, Jase Woita stepped up, got a big hit. Naraki with 2 strikes got the sacrifice fly. But we'll swing the bats better as the season progresses. You know, I know the caliber of pitching will ratchet up, but so will the warm temperatures. It's really hard to hit when it's chilly like this at night, and the air is so heavy. So I mentioned before, I didn't think anybody'd hit a ball out of the park. So when Woita hit that one, he hit it a ton to be able to barely get it out of the park. I thought we hit probably 5 or 6 balls really hard. You know, in the center fielder ran down. Like Scobie hit that ball on a normal day. That ball's way out of here. And I think there were a couple others that were, I don't know if they would have been home runs, but maybe they would have got over the center fielder's head. I don't know.
A couple of things on Woita. Y'all don't have a plethora of left-handed bats.
Right.
Is it helpful to have him swinging well from that side of the plate? And does that matter to you much as a coach if you have a lineup stock full of righties or lefties one way or the other? And also, if Woita does get into the field, where do you feel most comfortable in playing him?
Well, Woita, let me answer your first question. Yes, I would love to have more left-handed hitters. Some of the best teams I've ever had have been stocked with left-handed hitters, and the majority of pitchers are right-handed. So it's an advantage to have left-handed hitters. But, we inherited, a roster, and we did the best we could to try to add. Woita was a kid that we recruited, Monty recruited him. And but we don't have a plethora of left-handed hitters on our team. So I was hoping Jase Woita could contribute the way that he has the last couple of days, or 2 of the last 3 days, I should say. And, he's going to continue to get opportunities. He's earned them. His preseason was not good, but his fall was real good. So he's shown the capabilities of being able to hit. And, listen, I'm in the earn it business. I don't play favorites. I play the kids that earn it. And, you give him an opportunity and he seizes it. So it adds to more opportunities. And he'll be in there again tomorrow and hopefully do something special again. But, as time goes on, as we can control the roster makeup a little bit more, I think you'll see more and more left-handed hitters in our lineup if we can recruit them.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. The second part of he came here as a first baseman, and he's really not a bad first baseman at all. I put him in the outfield really because I when we played inter-squad scrimmages, I wanted Hollins to play for one team and work Petrie, so I kind of just got him out of the way by sticking him out in the outfield, But he's actually not that bad of an outfielder. But his true value, he's never going to be a Gold Glover. So, John, he's really his way to contribute is going to be with the bat.
Kind of going off that with getting Woita into the lineup, I think Winthrop was the first game you had put him in the starting 9. Was it kind of just because of the getting the more left-handed bats in there, or was it to kind of get him going after he had that pinch hitting on against Sacred Heart?
Well, when he pinch hit against Sacred Heart, he stepped up and got a base hit and a mop-up. And I tell the reserve players, look, don't ever look at it as mop-up time. You get an opportunity, you do something, the coach takes notice. You do it again, takes notice again. All of a sudden you start to think there's something there, and you give him an opportunity. And I could tell you in the first 39 years of my coaching career, there's been a lot of kids that haven't started the season. You give them an opportunity here and there, and they earn it, and they take it and run with it. And I think that's the only way to operate. You have to give kids a chance, and when you give them a chance, the ones that take advantage of it are the ones that get more and more opportunities. I've done it that way my whole career. And, listen, it's early. We've only 6 games in the season. We haven't faced an SEC team yet. Will he hit SEC caliber pitching? It's going to be tougher. That kid tonight was pretty good. And, he was carving us up a little bit. But, we'll face better pitching and it'll challenge guys. But you gotta believe in somebody, and I thought, the other day it was a good time to give Jase a chance. We had 2 midweek games. I knew we were facing a lefty on Wednesday, so he wouldn't start on Wednesday. So I thought, why not start him on Tuesday? And, he stepped in and he hit the ball really hard, I think 3 times. Even his strikeout was a good at-bat that night. He battled hard and just ultimately didn't win it. But I like the way he approaches his at-bats. And you can see what a great kid he is. He's like off the charts, too nice almost.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, thank you all.